Hey everybody, I'm Pagan Tech, and we're here with another session of the Round Table of Fools. Some of us are nincompoops, some of us are idiots, we have ne'er-do-wells as well, but tonight we have Tommy down below this way, and we have Jerry Formal, who's down in this corner over here, and our new regular member, Blinktron. Woohoo! Woo. Tonight we plan on talking about things and stuff, like memes that have stuck with us for meaningful reasons. And bugger all. I forgot what the other one was. What was the other one?
Let me look at the notes. It says
we're so together, aren't we?
Run-ins or meet and greets you've had with celebrities.
That's right. Yes. Run-ins and meet and greet that we've had with celebrities. And of course, this comes along with our usual ramblings, which we're very good at. So smash that subscribe button, hit that notification bell to know when I post again. I post pretty randomly, and that'll get you a chance to see when that happens. I do some streaming, which we'll cover here in a bit, and due to life, I never know when that's actually going to happen, but I've got a working video card now, and a pretty awesome system, so I'm doing some pretty cool streams. All right, well, now we've got the intros done. The host of our show, Tommy. Take it away, Tommy.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So, hope everybody's having a good week or had a good week, as this will be coming out on Sunday. This is Tommy Scott, and this is the Round Table of Fools. And as Pagan Tech said, we have our usual complement of fools -1. Green Bear has decided to forego the recording tonight to go out. I don't want to call it a dinner date necessarily, but he's out to dinner with somebody. Yeah. And you know what? Free meal. I can't begrudge a man a free meal. So, you know, nope. Plus he hadn't seen this friend of his in a couple of years. So, hey, you know what? More power to him. So we will persevere. We will carry on. So thanks everybody for tuning in, by the way. We will get our plugs out of the way. And then it's been a really kind of a cool past week or so. As Blinktron and I have sort of collaborated on something, and it's kind of worked out well for everybody. So we will do plugs. I will do mine real quick. You can find me at stnradio.com. We broadcast 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are live on the air at various times on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. Please go to stnradio.com and check the schedule there, the updated, might I add, stnradio.com. Full schedule there, and DJ information and merchandise, and more merchandise to come soon. So all kinds of fun stuff. But again, stnradio.com, stop in and give it a listen. I do appreciate it. And since Jerry Formal probably doesn't have anything to plug, I don't want to step on his toes.
Shock.
Yeah. No?
You ready for my shock face?
Yeah, I know, right?
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You feel the love?
Blinktron, do you have anything to, dare I say?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, okay. That middle finger's appropriate.
Yeah.
Yes, I kind of like that.
The plug has a middle finger sticker on it.
And you can thank the wife.
I will be sure to do that. Yes, I will be sure to do that in person because I have purchased my Dragon Con tickets.
Woo!
Yeah,
Yay!
So cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I haven't been to Dragon Con in 20 years, so it's gonna be interesting. I think it's
been that long.
It has, yeah. 2000 was the last one I went to. It's going to be interesting too with COVID and the cases spiking up, and they're having people the crazy stuff now. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting if nothing else. I have an array. I'll have to get one here after the break. I have an array of masks, one of which you've got to see. That's super cool. Anyway, Pagan Tech, do your plugs real quick, and then we will carry on with the show.
Absolutely. You can catch me on twitch.tv/Pagantech, Pagantek. where I'll be streaming some flight sim something or space something like Star Citizen, which I really dig. Microsoft Flight Sim, which just released a new content update. Content update 5 dropped, and that was an amazing content update because it also fine-tuned the engine that it runs on and gained approximately 60% frame rate.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
They had to tune this so that they could release it for the Xbox, because this was also the concurrent Xbox Series S and Series X release as well. So that's one of the reasons why they tuned it so well. It did have a tendency to break some of my add-on aircraft, so I have to go through and find out if there's any updates or if it can even be updated. But last night I did a test flight in the King Air 350 for about, about 2 hours. Really fun.
Yeah.
Good stuff. But yeah, that's what I got going on.
Awesome. So, so what we actually started to have this little discussion. I was like, oh, wait, we should talk about this when we start recording and stuff. So this last week, I made mention of the fact, sort of in passing, that I'd really like to have some STN radio email addresses, for the domain, for the radio station. And Patrick and I were talking back and forth. It's like, well, you could go through this, but it's kind of expensive. You go through that, kind of blah, blah, blah. So what Blinktron did was talk to the folks he works for, who are called BNR Business Solutions, by the way. Go there and get stuff with them. They do Azure, and they do Office licensing and all kinds of cool stuff. But anyway, so what happened is Blinktron talked to his boss, and his boss is like, oh yeah, let's just do 3 email addresses for him, and then they can advertise us. So that's what we did. So now we've got a promo spot. Actually, we recorded a couple of them. The one that Patty did was way better than the one I did, so we're just using hers. There's one.
No,
with
typical.
Music. Yeah, well, I mean, she has a nice voice for radio. She does.
What was that company again?
BNRsolutions.com. That's the plug.
Yeah.
Nice. So we got 3 email addresses. We've got TommyScottPD@stnradio.com. We have info@stnradio.com and ads@stnradio.com. And I figure ads cover not only promotional stuff like, you promote me, I promote you, but at some point when we start actually making revenue off of advertising, ads is also appropriate for that. So, it's kind of an all-encompassing. And info just is like, pretty much anything. If you want to make a request or ask us something or whatever like that, info@stnradio.com will get right to my desktop. So, so it's kind of worked out all the way around. And, so tell them that if, they're welcome to use the audio spot in whatever way they want to. And if they want, additional ones, whatever, just let me know. I'm happy to do them, and either we can use my voice or we can do Patty's again, whatever, or for that matter, Jerry could do one too. See if they like his voice.
Yeah. All right.
Cause he's on. Yeah.
The boss was sufficiently happy with what came across. So
good.
Yeah, he's good with it.
Bemused.
I threw a little graphic together and put it right on the front page there. So it's.
Oh, I haven't checked that yet. Yeah,
it's like 3/4 down on the front.
Oh, nice.
That was a very I don't want to say
that's huge.
Well, you know what? It's funny because GoDaddy blows up. So I always, the web graphics I do 300 by 300 because that's a big enough size to where you can fit stuff in, but it's not so big that you're eating up a bunch of space. But then you put it up on GoDaddy and they blow it up to these gargantuan proportions. So.
Yeah, you might want to take a look at the settings for those sections. Because you should be able to shrink that down. That's massive.
Yeah, I have looked into it, and I don't know if I'll look again, but I don't think there's a way to change that. It's unless I'm missing.
We can look later.
Yeah, it can be done later. Yeah. So so anyway, that was something really cool that came out of that. Not only are we cross promoting each other essentially, but we got 3 like at STN radio emails out of the deal, which is a lot more professional. I mean, everybody uses Gmail these days, but having your own email at your own domain is way more professional and a lot cooler than, using Gmail all over the place. So
yeah, good change of pace for you.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Tell your bosses thank you, by the way, because
absolutely,
that's super cool. Anyway, so what topic do we want to tackle first, or is there anything random on anybody's mind that they want to tackle before we get into a topic? Take that as a no.
I got nothing right now.
Okay. All right.
I got the wind whistling in my ears. Speaking of wind, I do have the AC installed. Ooh, it's so nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
They never notified us that it actually came in or that they were shipping. It was like, we don't have a shipping number. We'll let you know. It's on your doorstep. Oh, shit.
Well, I mean, if you're going to get a surprise, that's the kind of surprise you want.
Yeah, because it's a radically improved air conditioner from the one that we had.
Now you're not sweating balls all over the place.
No. My chair is no longer suction cup.
Sweaty.
Yeah.
That's actually beyond sweaty, right to sweaty.
That's right.
That's where I was going to go.
You could tell which member of the family was sitting in this chair.
Oh.
Oh, man. Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, Peg and Tech and Blink both live down south. And to live without air conditioning or fully functioning air conditioning is fucking miserable.
It is. Absolutely. And, my house, I've got the room over the garage right now.
Yeah.
This is where we have all of the computers in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And it faces south. So this is the hottest room in the house.
Of course.
So it's always 5-10 degrees warmer down here, depending on how heavy the gaming activity is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just that it's kind of rough. But if our AC went out, I would not stay in here.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
We had, this was several years ago, but we had the air conditioner die here. This is in Pittsburgh. We were in a different house, but it was still here. And it was in the dead of summer. But we've got a basement that we could escape to where it's always cool. So we were renting the place and the landlord's like, oh, get 3 estimates and all this, rigmarole. So we went downstairs and, I literally moved the TV and the cable box downstairs so we'd have something to do in the basement. And as the day, and then I think into the next day wore on, the heat just kept going down, building and eventually we were just laying on the floor trying to stay out of the heat, and fans only do so much. But yeah, I mean, even here it gets miserable sometimes. Not like it does there, obviously, but it still gets hot and sticky here sometimes.
Ceiling fan just stirs the hot.
Yes.
Around, exactly. Yeah, people are like, get box fans, get oscillating fans. Sure, just blow the hot air around. That's great. Yep. Yeah. So that's no. So, well, I mean,
do you know how the air fryers work? Well, that's kind of what the room is doing.
It just turns your room into a convection oven.
That's right.
It's a theory. Yep. So, I mean, I've usually got a little fan blowing right over here off to the side, but that's just to keep myself cool here, because when I start to drink coffee, I get all like, anyway.
Is he sitting over there cheering you on?
Yeah, that's my biggest fan. Actually, that's not my biggest fan. My biggest fan's over there in the doorway. Anyhow, let me see. What? So this meme thing, let's do that, because I don't think I have an answer for that. I mean, to me, and maybe this is just me, memes are almost like junk food. They're there to make you laugh, you consume them, and then you move on with your life.
Yes. I agree.
Now, I have seen, and I'm sure we've all seen, some funny-ass memes in our day that maybe we remember, although I can't recall one at the moment. But I've always just considered memes to be just like the junk food of the internet, so you consume it and you move on.
That's a valid observation.
Yeah. So then I guess the question is there a meme that has stuck with any of you guys that you just, I guess, refer back to, or you're like, okay, I'm going to post this again because it's just so damn funny? Because see,
I got 2 that have always stuck with me since the first time I saw them.
Yeah.
They were memeified quotes. So it's more of a quote than anything. But the first time that I was aware of them was when I saw them in a meme. And it's just kind of popped up, and I'm like, one of my meme channels. I was like, fuck, that makes a lot of sense. Shit. One is a quote by Mark Twain. It's got a picture of him kind of sitting there in his chair, looking all Mark Twainy. He says, "Never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience."
Yeah.
And I thought, that's very apropos. I've been involved in many of those battles, and now I just need to walk away. Just step away.
Yes.
More than one way to learn how to pick your battle.
Yeah.
That's right.
There's one that cracks me up, and it'll come through my timelines every now and again. And I'm probably misquoting it, but the gist of it is, arguing with people on the internet is like playing chess with a pigeon. The pigeon just shits on the board and then struts around like he won the game anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knocks over the pieces, shits on the board, struts around like he won. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Like, yep, I've had many a discussion, shall we say, with just those kind of people.
Yeah. Another one that stuck with me is Carlin is one of my favorite comedians of all time. And for some reason, this never came up in any of the Carlins that I have stored in my MP3 collection. And it's, everyone appreciates your honesty until you're honest with them, then you're an asshole.
It's true.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of the same meme format where Carlin's got his microphone, looks like he's explaining something, and they usually put some snippet on there, but that's the one that usually sticks with me the most.
Did you happen to get to see him when he was in Augusta? Many
Yes.
ago?
I did not.
Yeah.
I went with Rick.
You did?
Actually,
Okay.
yeah.
Because I was I by myself? I think I went with somebody. I don't remember who I went with. I don't think it was Patty. I think this might have been before we were together. But anyway, went to see George Carlin in concert. Lucked into front row seats, number one, in the Bell Auditorium, I think it was.
Damn.
Yeah. But when I got there and sat down, the seat beside me was still empty. He's like, well, okay. And I'll be damned if Stevie didn't have the seat right next to me.
Oh, that is awesome.
It was just serendipitous to how it kind of worked out that way. I mean, we didn't buy our tickets at the same time, because back then you had to actually go to a Ticketmaster outlet to buy your tickets. So, I don't remember what year that was. And I wish I could remember who I went with, but I know that I ended up sitting right next to Stevie. So that was actually pretty cool. But yeah, and that was a fantastic show. And the last time he played Augusta, actually, because he insulted everybody that liked to golf and everything.
Oh my God, the graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Golf the graveyards, yep. Or homeless shelter.
Yes.
Whatever, yeah. That was amazing.
Yeah. So he didn't play Augusta after that, as far as I know.
I wonder why.
Yeah, shocking. And then the other meme that I like, and if it's used properly, is the dog sitting at the computer and everything's on fire, and he's like, "This is fine."
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that one.
He's
Yeah.
right. That's actually a really good one. Yeah.
That's a good one. I mean, if you think about it, we can go back to the granddaddy of memes and gotchas.
Okay.
Rick Astley.
Oh, the Rickroll.
Yes. I actually saw something recently. It's called the Astley paradox, the Rick Astley paradox.
Okay.
So, if you ask Rick Astley his copy of the movie Up, he cannot give it to you, as he will never give you up. However, in doing so, he lets you down, thus creating the Astley paradox.
Paradox.
Yes.
Interesting. I Rickrolled everybody that was listening last night because Wednesday is theme night, and the theme last night was just the word up. So songs or groups.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah.
I saw it in the list and I'm like, oh, I know what's coming up.
I had almost forgotten. Actually, I had forgotten about it. I put the 2 hours together, and while I was on the air, I was looking at Facebook, and our friend in Green Bay said, "Oh, Rick Astley never going to give you up." I was like, "Oh crap! How could I forget that?" So I dropped something else in and put Rick Astley in there, but I didn't say anything about it until I was like, "Oh, coming up later, we've got such and so and this, and right now it's Rick Astley, bitches, bam." You've all been rickrolled. There may not be anybody listening, but I have fun.
And listeners dropped to 0.
Yeah. No, I actually people were listening last night, so that was
I was there.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if something goes wrong, you're Johnny on the spot with that. Yeah, I mean,
Well, I mean, I play it when I'm working.
yeah. The other night when you were like, "Oh, you just dropped it," I was actually switching over so Rob could take over. So that's if I'm not usually what I do is if I'm at the computer where like I am now, I will wait for a song to end and then I'll kill the auto DJ and then transfer it over to whomever. But if I'm just on my phone, I'll just go ahead and kill the auto DJ. So if it's in the middle of a song or a commercial or whatever, it's just like, well, nope, dead. So
yeah, it was just kind of blaring, especially considering that there was an issue earlier.
Yeah. Well,
So-
I mean, a lot now the auto DJ that all takes place at the other end. I have nothing to do with that except for stopping and starting it. So if it has glitches or goes down or whatever when it's auto DJ time, I don't have any control over that. I mean, and I barely have control over this, and too.
so very true.
But sorry, I've been sick a lot today.
Speaking of swamp ass,
Speaking of sweaty, sweaty.
Witty.
Oh my.
That's just
Why
too
is
much
it?
fun.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh my giggity!
That's a punctuation.
Put the cap on this on the conversation. So yeah, I mean, again, I enjoy memes as much as the next guy, but here's like sort of a parallel to that. So I love, and I've always loved sitcoms, right? Situation comedies, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. I love sitcoms, right? But sitcoms are kind of the junk food of the television world. You watch them. And now some of them, some have rewatchability, like the series Friends, I've rewatched a dozen times. That 70s show, I've watched it, dozens of times over.
King of the Hill.
Only?
What's that?
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill, definitely rewatchable. Simpsons. There are some sitcoms that have a high rewatchability factor. But at the end of the day, a sitcom is still kind of, junk food for the mind, as you watch it and then you move on with your life. Whereas, the episodic, like the only thing that comes to mind right now for me is because I'm watching Star Wars Rebels, and yeah, it's a cartoon, it's animated, but it's like it's episodic and the voice acting is really good. The animation is awesome. I've been loving it, and it's obviously not a sitcom. It's, it's obviously more than a sitcom. So,
We've got here at the house, we have a playlist that we run on the Chromecast on our big TV, and it's a bunch of Britcoms, and it's in shuffle mode, and we call it the Pablum. It's just something to chew on in the background. It's, well, we're playing computer games, or she's looking up something. Hey, want to turn the Pablum on? Sure, click.
background noise.
Yeah.
Well, background noise is not good if you're doing a radio program, but a lot of times leave the TV on in the other room, just letting it play. Oh, and here's something else too. So as you all know, we have actually dropped Xfinity, and now we're on Comcast Business, which we did, and we did include TV service. It's just strictly internet. So, but the Samsung TV that we have has Samsung TV Plus, and you can download a bajillion, apps for it.
Kind of like Roku. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got built-in Roku essentially, right? So you've got your streaming services, like we've got Disney Plus and Prime and Netflix, I think. I was actually going to drop Disney Plus, but I just can't bring myself to do it because there's just so much good shit on there. But anyway,
Well, there's a lot of good shit coming out. I mean, What If starts in a couple of weeks from Marvel.
Oh, what did I see? There's another. Oh, Hawkeye. There's a Hawkeye series coming out. I
Yep.
think either November or December. So, looking forward to that as well. But built into the TV is something they call, Samsung TV Plus. It's like, okay. So what it is essentially, I mean, and you can actually, as long as you've got connectivity to the network with your TV, you get like there's an additional like 200 channels that you can scroll through. Now there's none of the major, networks obviously or anything like that. But one thing I've discovered is something called Shout Factory television.
Mm-hmm.
Every night of the week is a different or every day I should say is a different program. Like yesterday was they played the old Ultraman shows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they're dubbed, Mondays are Misty Monday, so they play Mystery Science Theater 3000 for 24 hours. Mondays are my favorite. And like I think one night they do classic Johnny Carson episodes. And another night they do I stumbled across something the other day. I don't remember. But anyway, it's actually been pretty cool. We streamed Vikings the other night and we're really into that show. But yeah, the Shout Factory stuff. It's been really entertaining. I mean, I've never seen any of those old like Ultraman shows or anything.
So have you seen? Well, two things really remind me about Vikings, but on Ultraman, there's a new animated series for Ultraman on Netflix.
No, I did not know that. That's interesting.
Actually, pretty good. Basically about Ultraman's son.
Oh, okay. Have any of you guys seen the Masters of the Universe?
Have not yet.
Smith wrote. I'm a Kevin Smith fan, so let's put it this way: I'm a Kevin Smith fan. I've never really been a Masters of the Universe fan because that cartoon was a little bit past my time. Well, and yours too, Patrick, for that matter. And maybe Phil's too, because I think Phil's around our same age. A little bit after my time, Mm-hmm. That's not to say it's bad or anything. It just it never really grabbed me because it was I was a little bit older than sort of the demographic that it was aimed at. So
yeah, and I was living in Alaska, so we didn't have TV. And then whenever I was around a TV, I had flown down to Chicago to see grandparents, and they were quite the Christian family, and so it was like Billy Graham and the 700 Club all the time.
Oof.
Maybe some Tom and Jerry, but mostly Billy Graham and 700 Club.
If you come down to Charlotte, I can take you over to visit Billy Graham University and the museum and stuff they've got over there. No.
Okay. No.
hard pass. Yeah, hard pass.
Hard something.
Oh.
Anyhow, so I completely lost my train of thought. But yeah, so Shout Factory has actually been pretty cool because they play like pretty much any era of the Mystery Science Theater shows except for the new ones that are still on Netflix. Because they're still making on Netflix, which have Felicia Day in them. Actually, she plays.
Yes, they do.
It's one of the mad scientists. But anyhow. So I've been enjoying that. But and like I said, of course we can stream almost anything. And the only thing I'm missing out on, and I'm not really missing it that much if I'm being honest with myself, is like I used to like to have news sort of on in the background, CNN or MSNBC or one of those, just to sort of keep up with sort of the news of the day. And not getting any of that, and I don't really miss it that much, to be honest.
Well, frankly, it's been just pretty much depressing for the last few years. So
yeah, that's also true. Yeah.
But anyways, you were talking about He-Man.
Oh yeah. So, I've heard it's very mixed. I've heard people say it's the best He-Man like ever, and then I've heard people say this is the worst shit that Kevin Smith ever put out or anybody has ever put out like ever in the history of mankind.
Well, I mean, that's pretty typical Kevin Smith. You either love it or you fucking hate it.
Well, that's a good point actually too. And I love Kevin Smith, so I'm pretty sure I will like this sort of this iteration of He-Man. But again, I don't really have anything to compare it to. So I'm not going to be one of those people on the internet crying because, oh, they ruined my childhood and all this kind of shit, which I think is just bullshit. Either you like something or you don't.
So
I would be
speaking of
interested to get your opinion after you watch it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it's in my queue to watch. I just haven't. Say I don't have a whole lot of spare time, and the TV watching has been we've been trying to keep up with. Well, not keep up with, but catch up with Vikings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Speaking of Kevin Smith,
yeah.
real quick.
Yep.
One nice thing about the I work for, our home office is like 15 minutes away from the convenience store.
Oh, in New
From
Jersey.
Clerks.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And
Nice.
from the comic book shop where they do.
Clerks 3 is pre-production.
Yep.
Yep.
Saw that too.
That'll be cool.
Viking. So
Yeah.
the group, the couple that make most of the jewelry for the Vikings show,
Yeah, that's
have a main booth at Dragon, so you'll be able to pay them a visit.
Yeah, that is what's the name of the company?
Very nice.
Celtic shit. Because I've got some of their jewelry because they're at Pensacola as well.
Yeah, they are actually. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Oh, that's aggravating. What's the name of their fucking booth? Oh,
But yeah, so you'll get to see them this year again. Then.
Yeah. I say I've bought a couple of things from them. Their stuff is very, very well made, but it has a price to match.
Yes.
Crafty Celts.
Crafty Celts, that's it.
Yes, that's the one. The Crafty Celts. Yes, they did a bunch of the jewelry for Vikings, and they say they've been going to Penzic for just years and years. And I guess they might have been going to Dragon Con for years too. But again, I haven't been there in quite some time. So they're North Carolina, aren't they, or South Carolina, one or the other?
They're up here in North Carolina somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Christy found them the first year she went was about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And has bought at least one thing from them every year.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, I've bought a thing or two over the years from them, but a good friend of mine who lived on across town here was friends with a couple of those guys, and he passed away a couple of years ago, and I sort of inherited all of his Crafty Celts stuff, so I've got it on the wall in the other room.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like a torque and a necklace, or like a Thor's hammer, and a couple of the bracelets and all, or not bracelets, whatever they call them. The rings, like what they call them in the show.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, amazing work. And I told Patty, I was like, "Hey, you see the bracelet there? Yeah, that was Crafty Celts." She's like, "Are those the guys?" I was like, "Yeah, those are the guys." Yeah, they've had a booth at Penzic for years, and I mean, I'm assuming once Penzic starts back up next year that they'll have a booth as well. But you never know,
Cross fingers.
In the dealer's room at Dragon Con, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. They probably make a killing over there too.
They absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. And those guys are super cool as well. They'll sit and gab with you. If they're not super busy, or at least at Penzic, if they're not super busy, they'll sit and chat with you and stuff, and just shoot the breeze with you for a while, particularly if they're not busy. But yeah, so what was I gonna? Okay, new subject. So chip here. Passages out. Anyhow, so, Jerry Formal was thinking about going to Dragon Con, but I think the ticket price has maybe dissuaded him. I don't know.
So the trick for getting tickets for Dragon Con is to get them just after the convention is over, because they are half the price, literally half the price.
Really?
Yeah.
Like $70?
Well, it was $80 last year.
Oh, yeah, but still.
Yeah, it's $80 on site. We bought ours before we left the convention.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, actually. I won't do that simply because we don't know what the world's going to be like in 2022.
True, but when in 2020, when everything got canceled, they just rolled everything over to 2021. So I didn't have to buy tickets.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
That's good.
That's cool.
So
All right. Well,
Same with the hotel room. They kept our reservation for the following year.
that's good. Okay. Well, we'll see. I mean, it just depends because, again, Penzic is supposed to be back in 2022, but I mean, who knows? I mean, if people can't be fucking bothered to get vaccinated and, we get, locked down again or.
Which it's
headed that way.
it's heading that way fast.
Yep.
So I just hope people,
Yeah.
I just wish people would be smart about it.
Yeah, me too. Well,
soon they'll all die, and the rest of us will be just, fine and dandy. So
I mean, and I hate to sound this way, and I may catch shit for this, but the people that are like, I refuse to get vaccinated, it's a hoax, and this and that and everything, and then they catch COVID and either get super sick and or die. I have no sympathy for those people whatsoever. Not one modicum of sympathy for those people. If you don't listen to the science, that's the risk you take. I mean,
absolutely.
It's your freedom, fine. But you know what? And then I've heard stories of people, before they get intubated, begging them to get the vaccine. It's like, it's too fucking late now. You've already got it. Doesn't cure it. It prevents it. Anyway, we could do a whole another show about that. But anyway, so my point was, though, that I hope that Dragon Con doesn't get postponed or canceled here. Yeah. But if what you say is true, if it does, they'll just roll us over to next year.
Right.
Everybody will be happy, which is fine because then I'll just go to Dragon Con rather than Penzic next year, regardless of what Penzic is doing, because I'll already have a ticket for Dragon Con. So, makes that decision quite simple, actually. And it'll be nice to, I'm getting a couple things done in my car, but it'll be nice, regardless if it's this year or next year, to get out on the road and just get away for a while,
Yeah. And Dragon Con is my getaway for a while.
Yeah.
And my camera zoom is freaking out for some reason.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Autofocus is going nuts.
Yeah, geez.
I'll have to look into that.
Do you have your big light on?
Yeah, I do. It's on very low, though.
Oh, okay. Do you have your ring light on?
No, should I?
It might help with the autofocus issue.
Well, let's find out.
I mean, it might blind you, but
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Dun, dun, dun.
That
There is.
Nope, your camera is still.
Seems a little better, maybe.
Yep, now it seems okay.
okay. I'll just keep like this then.
It's either that or it's trying to focus on the face that's just behind you.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's a face somewhere.
It's searching for a face. Who is that on that pillow, by the way?
That's a character from a TV show called A Hell of a Boss. That's the Prince Stolas.
Right. Who showed us those? Was that Alan that showed us?
That was green.
Yeah, that was green. That was green. Yeah.
That shit's hilarious.
It really is.
So wrong, yet so funny.
It is.
So wrong, yet so funny. Pagan Tech, you seem embroiled in thought over there. Or maybe it's just gas. I'm not sure.
Well, I tell
Or both.
Okay. It's a timing thing. It's timing. That's what it is. Timing. No, I was trying to get ready for the next segment.
Oh, okay.
I am ready now, so I'm good.
All right. Well, you know what? We've barely been going for 40 minutes, but I mean, we don't need to go on and on and on. So you guys okay for a 10, 15-minute break here and then come back and do our second segment?
Yeah, I'm good for that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
sure.
So we will take a break at this juncture. It is 8 o'clock currently. We'll call it 8:20. How about that?
Sounds good.
Right.
Quiet on the set.
Yeah, shut your cake hole. I actually mean, thanks for everybody for sticking around for the Round Table of Fools. You know, these idiots and, oh no, that's the wrong script. God damn it. I did that again, didn't I? Yeah, my scripts. Hey, we're back. Thanks for joining us, and I'm so stoked that you can join us as well. We've had a pretty successful break, and I hope that you have as well. So, let's get into this. Tommy.
Oh, I was just about to take a drink. Hang on.
Just take a drink.
Good thing you took a drink after, not before.
Well, you know what? Somebody has to consume stuff while the show is going on because Green Bear's not here, so it might as well be me.
Ooh, that's a good point. Wow.
Yeah, somebody's got to eat something while we're trying to record. I mean, come on.
I'm eating nuts if that helps your case any.
Yeah, that counts. Sure.
VTS nuts.
VTS, that's right. I forgot what I was going to say now, but anyway, yes.
Shocking, I tell you.
I know. We are back, and thank you for sticking around, assuming you have. Right, so I think, and we'll see where else this leads as well, but we were going to discuss like run-ins or like meetings or meet and greets or just random encounters with celebrities that we've had over the years. Now, that can include conventions. That can include just random encounters with celebrities, which, believe it or not, I've actually had a couple. So who wants to start? My brain is starting to slow down, by the way, just so
I'll throw it out there.
My body is trying to process all of the Denny's that we had for dinner. So, yeah, go ahead, Phil.
Oh, okay. I actually have video this time. And this is going to do wonders for the radio listeners at home, right?
Yep. They're going to love it.
All right. Let's see. Can I push this button?
Ooh, that was a nice. Hey, Weird Al. Awesome.
Yeah. So I got, this was when he had his ill-advised tour stopped in Augusta. And we had, Christy, I'm a huge Weird Al fan. He is just my absolute favorite artist of all time, period. And so Christy got the VIP tickets. We were in row 5, and we got all kinds of souvenirs. And then we had a meet and greet afterwards where he would sign something, and then we could get our pictures taken. And that's what this is. That was absolutely a hilarious show. The fire alarms went off during the show, and of course he riffed on that for a while. And on the YouTube channel, on this very YouTube channel that you're watching, is a clip of Mr. Frump in the Iron Lung with his brand new accordion that he got. It was like a MIDI accordion. It was like a $33,000 accordion.
Oh, wow.
Like, Jesus Christ. And the accordion he was like, during the breaks, he had the accordion sitting on a chair with the spotlights on it. And it was just, it was like the star of the show. Well, it was hilarious.
On an accordion. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Gotta be so, check that out on my YouTube channel. Just look through the history. And I think there's another quick one in there where it talks about the fire alarm going off. And he was talking about the fire alarm. It was pretty funny.
Was that the Bell Auditorium, I guess?
It was at the Miller.
Oh, at the Miller, really?
Yeah, right after they rebuilt the Miller. It was one of the first shows.
That's awesome. I haven't been to the Miller since they reopened it, actually. I knew the person who, the real estate person who had the Miller listed, and he had the keys, and we were doing a show at the Imperial, and the guy happened to be there. So a bunch of us that were working on the show went over and explored the Miller. You know, this is years before it was reopened. I mean, they were storing like old computer equipment in there, like I think the city was, and like, a bunch of old office printers, multifunction printers and all that stuff that were just dead. They were storing them in like the main area there. And we explored on the stage and backstage, and the place was super cool then, and it had been closed for however many years. I
think it was 2008 that Casey and Felipe came over from Texas and ended up in Augusta for a couple of days. One of the days we had the icons all massed together, and we had a big LAN party there.
Oh, cool.
That was a
and
lot of
then-
fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. We ended up at the Miller Theater with behind the scenes with the guy. He basically the same thing. We knew the guy who owned it. He had the key, let us in. We roamed around there for hours, took a whole bunch of pictures, stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, that place was super. I can't, and it's like Art Deco. I mean, it was. I don't know if they kept the Art Deco touches when they refurbished it.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Yeah, they tried to keep it as close to original as they could.
Oh, that's awesome because that place was just amazing inside. Even in its dilapidated state that I saw it in, that place was just freaking awesome. So that's good that they kept the original touches. What other run-ins or meet and greets you got there, Peg and Tech? Anything?
The only other one that is about as close as I'm gonna get is when I was stationed on the USS Missouri, the battleship. And it's as close as it gets because it didn't actually happen. But 3 days after I left to Great Lakes, Steven Seagal was on board the ship and stayed there for a couple of days with the crew. And I was like, son of a bitch.
By that much.
Yeah, because he was doing the Under Siege movie. First one.
Yeah. Was
That
he
was-
on the Missouri just to do some research, essentially? I guess.
That initial point was the research. Where he stayed for doing some research, and then after they did, I think there was a period of time where they were just doing kind of a cruise out in the area, in the Bay Area, that they were doing some filming on board. They didn't do a lot of filming on board. They did a lot of external shots and things like that, but they didn't do a lot of filming on board. Most of the interior shots were done on the Texas, I believe, the battleship Texas.
Okay. I remember seeing that movie back in the day. They had a, I don't know who it was. Some hot chick jumped out of a cake. I remember that. I think it's-
Yes. Erica Liniak.
Yeah. That's all I
Yeah.
remember that movie, to be honest.
At the beginning of that movie where we are pulling into Hawaii, I'm in that shot. That's a big shot of the whole ship, of course, but I'm in that shot. That was the 50th anniversary of the bombing of Pearl Harbor. It was 1991, December 7th. And we had cruised over there, and we were moored off of the Arizona Memorial at 7:41 a.m. and we did a broadside with no rounds in, of course, but we fired a thing of powder on all 9 barrels, and we saluted the sailors in the Arizona Memorial. Now, she is actually, the Missouri, she's actually moored next to the Arizona Memorial as a permanent museum.
Oh, really? Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Yep. That they had done that. That's excellent.
Yep. I wish I could find a way to get to Hawaii to see her.
Yeah.
My sister-in-law is stationed out in Hawaii. Well, her husband's stationed out in Hawaii. She just happens to be there. She's not in the military. But she actually took a tour on the Missouri, and she went through my berthing, and I was crying like a fucking baby because it's all she's sending pictures, and I'm like, that's where I slept right there. That's where I hurt my toe right there. That's where I barfed. She said my rack IDs that still say Hadley are still there. So
No
I
way.
am
Really?
permanently
Oh,
enshrined
that's
there.
Nice.
Yeah. If I ever get out to Hawaii, we'll have to go and check that out. That's pretty awesome, dude.
Yep. I
Yeah.
can tell you exactly where it is because apparently the tour goes right through berthing.
Oh, wow. All right. Oh, that's awesome. So we'll go down to Jerry Formal. I know you've not hit many conventions or whatnot, but you've been to a couple. And I know there's one particular celebrity interaction that you've had.
Yes. Oh, yeah, I've been to two or three conventions maybe. I've been to Steel City Con a couple of times.
Yep.
That's been, I think it was the second time, I think.
Yeah.
I got to talk to, and get a autograph from Chris Sarandon, the the voice of a Jack Skellington from A Nightmare Before Christmas. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
I got a little thing signed from him, but
Cool.
That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
not
Yeah.
much to talk about. Best $60 I ever spent. But
Yeah. Nice
but
dude. He was cool.
yeah, he was really cool. I remember hauling ass to the car so I could grab the thing from the sign, but
I think we've gone through this once before, but Patty actually cross-stitched a big thing of a Jack Skellington, and we had it framed and took it over to Steel City Con because we knew Chris Rannon was going to be there. And Chris was duly impressed, I think. And we figured that he would just take a Sharpie and sign it on the back, but he took like a paint pen and signed it on the glass on the front of it.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
wow.
yeah,
It's pretty cool, actually.
it is
Yeah,
really cool.
it's a nice souvenir to have too. Yeah. No, Patrick, go ahead.
Why me? Why me? Okay.
Yeah.
So
As I said,
when you're
that's-
talking run-ins, I've
Yeah.
actually had one run-in with what I consider an actual celebrity
okay,
person at Dragon Con
of course.
at the Marriott. Yes, it was the Marriott, the Tube. Got in on the bottom floor like you're supposed to, so you can go up. Went up one floor, opened up, and there was only one person standing outside the door. He walked in. I looked at him and I was like, fucking George Takei walked on the elevator.
Oh, that's all.
Oh yeah.
So
Wow.
I went up 20 stories or however far it was, just having a little chat with George Takei as we were going up.
He's actually a really nice dude. He'll
He is.
chat with you and take pictures and stuff. Did you? I don't think you were actually on the show yet. I told this story a while back. You may or may not remember, the tribe and myself running around in war paint and loincloths and
Yep.
going from party to party with the smoke and drink and all. We've been doing hours, and this was at one of the mocks in Greenville, and we stopped off at the elevator lobby on the third floor just to get off of our feet for a while, and relax. And we're sitting there, we're chatting and stuff, and ding, the elevator doors open on one of the elevators, and on the elevator is George Takei and our friend Dan, and they are both shit-faced drunk and laughing, and we're like, what the hell? And Dan comes up to the door. He's like, hey, pointing at me. He's like, hey, I know that guy. I was like, hey, what's up? And George is, of course, beholding all of the mostly naked dudes in the.
Oh my. Hey, man.
And ding!
Oh, nope, that's the wrong one.
Balls of steel.
Nope, still. Shit.
Oh my.
Yeah,
There you
we're a
go.
winner.
And so the doors close. I mean, and they're laughing for all they're worth. And I looked around. I was like, was that Dan and George Takei? Were they drunk on an elevator? And 3 or 4 minutes later, bing, there they are again, laughing. George has got that laugh. Bing. They came by the floor like 4 times before.
Wow.
Hilarious. That was at one of the mocks back in the day. But so that was your sort of celebrity run-in. Have you done stood in the long lines to get on?
Oh, yeah.
Like that.
Did that so 5-6 years ago. It was the year before my wife and son started going to Dragon Con with me.
Mm-hmm.
So and it was actually the first year she had serious issues with her foot.
Mm-hmm.
And so she had a book. She's like, I know this person's going to be there. Please take it and see if you get it signed. Like, all right. So I went and waited in line for, the 5 minutes it took and paid the money up to get a talk and a signature from Felicia Day.
Oh, nice. All right. Very cool.
And I told her what was going on, and she was duly impressed that I took all that time to just come get a signature for the wife who couldn't be there, and got a hug out of it, got a picture, and got the signature.
Very cool.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep,
nice.
she signed. So Christy had just bought one of her first books that she had released and was thoroughly impressed with. So she had a little thing written in the front for Felicia, and Felicia signed it. And was all gushy about it, and I was
Very
like,
cool.
"Oh, that's awesome."
Yeah,
Well,
that's cool.
Alicia Day is going to be at Dragon Con, so I'm gonna probably
Yes.
pick up one of her books off of Amazon and take it.
No, she's got a new one now. Well, I think it came out last year, but yeah.
It's recently, yeah. Yep. She's got what, the 2 books, or does she have more
Uh-huh.
than the 2? Just okay, yeah.
I think it's just the 2.
Yeah, maybe I'll buy both of them. I don't know. So the last time I did like a meet and greet was William Shatner. He was at Steel City Con. Was it year before last? It wasn't last year, so it had to been year before last. So I got his autograph. He signed a copy of the Star Trek II motion picture soundtrack on vinyl. Had him sign the front, so that was cool. As far as like a celebrity sort of run-in, I've got 2 that stand out in my mind. So do you guys know who Tom Savini is?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. He's, for anybody that doesn't know, he's done like special effects work on like tons and tons of movies, and he's been in a bunch of movies. He's just done tons of stuff. He's sort of like a horror icon these days. Well, he lives here in Pittsburgh somewhere. And I went to, this was right like towards it was like early on in the pandemic or something like that. And I was going to the ice cream store, and he's walking out of the ice cream store. I was like, "Oh, hey, Tom Savini." He's like, "Hey, how you doing?" And I didn't shake his hand. He had his hands full of ice cream. I was like, "Hey, okay, take it easy," But I'm trying to think. This is before Drew. It had to have been before Drew was born. Patty and I were in New York City, and we're doing all the touristy stuff, of course. Empire State Building. We went to Central Park, yada yada. So we're walking down whatever road. It wasn't Broadway. Whatever street Radio City Music Hall is on. We were walking.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's Fifth Avenue. I don't know. But anyway, we were walking down the sidewalk, and because I remember Radio
No, it's Third Rock, right? 30 Rock.
thinking Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. We're walking down the street. So Radio City Music Hall is on our right, on the other side of the street. And we're walking, and we see this dude walking towards us. He's kind of short, older gentleman. Walking, and he getting closer and closer. And he, walked right past us. And Patty and I both went, and he just smiled, nodded, and kept on walking. And we went like 5 more steps and stopped. It was Henry Winkler, the Fonz.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that was the Fonz. She's like, I know. That was crazy. I mean, we didn't want to make a big fuss. I mean, I'm sure he's used to it. But, living in New York City, it's people could care less. I think. But so that was pretty cool. I say we didn't get to meet him per se, but we walked right past him. So that was pretty cool. But I mean, I've met a bunch of people at conventions, like Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell used to go to Mock and then just party with everybody else at night after signing autographs and doing his thing. He would just but yeah, as far as accidentally running into somebody, those are the 2 that really stand out in my mind, because I say Henry Winkler was just like, because the Fonz was like an icon back in our day. He was just like, he was like the coolest, right?
Yeah.
So I did
Hey.
actually have almost run in. Crap, I can't remember his name now. He's the dad on Green Arrow. He also played Dresden Files. He played Dresden in the TV show The Dresden Files.
I'm not familiar with the actor.
But he's the father of the girls on The Arrow.
Okay.
The police chief or police detective.
Oh, okay. I can see. I don't know his name, but yeah,
I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But that's a big dude. I came around the corner in Dragon Con, one of the back hallways, and he was rushing to get somewhere and almost sideswiped me across the room. And I'm not a small guy. Not really.
Yeah.
And he towered over me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, how big are you?
Does Paul Blackthorne ring a bell?
Yes. Sounds
Okay.
about right.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No, I We have friends that love those CW shows, and I'm not saying I don't like them, but I just don't ever think about them being on. So I've seen, like, I watched the Crisis on Infinite Earths series of shows. You know, they had all those crossover shows. I DVR'd those and watched them. But as far as like a regular watcher of the CW shows, I've just never, not that I am disinterested in them because they're DC, but I just, other things,
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the only DC that ever catches my eye is Batman. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
obviously, just looking at your background there, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, so I think it's time for T-shirt check.
Uh-oh.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. Pagan Tech is wearing a. Oh, is that a Missouri shirt? Oh, yeah, it sure is. Very
Don't,
cool.
don't fall over.
USS Missouri.
Yeah, I almost fell over. Yep, that's my Mo shirt.
Awesome.
All right, I'll go next.
Okay.
I mean, you can kind of figure what mine is.
Yes, I see the title at the top there.
It's Sterling Archer,
Yes.
President.
Nice.
Ugh.
Cartoon. I haven't seen that cartoon in a long time, but
it's-
the first four seasons are hilarious.
Yeah, it's for 2016, but still,
Yeah, well,
it's still worth wearing around.
well, that's right. Yeah. How about you, Jerry? I think I know what you're wearing.
Yeah. Jack Skellington.
Of
Yeah.
course. The
Yeah.
Skellington.
Yep.
And as far as me, I'm wearing my Vitruvian dwarf shirt.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
The axe and the mug, and then I think that's a pipe over there. So
That
Love
is
it.
awesome.
it's probably one of them that I'm going to take to. Oh, and speaking of DragonCon, somebody fill the time. I'm going to grab something from behind me real quick.
Uh-oh. You going to get up and start dancing now, Phil? Or Pagan?
I don't want to say. I don't want to see that.
No? Hey, you're going to get demoed.
Oh,
Oh,
you're right.
nice. It changes colors, huh?
Oh, sweet.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Oh, so you're all ready for the evening. Yeah, I don't have anything that fancy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I can't wear it. Well, I could wear it anywhere else, but I can't wear it anywhere else without getting weird looks. So
As you do.
And this is abnormal.
You getting weird looks is abnormal. Is that what
Well,
you're trying to say?
no, I guess not, actually.
Okay, there you
Yeah, so
Come to think of it.
go.
Oh, man. So let me see. Coming up in the not too distant future. So the big things that I've gotten out of the way lately are the revamp of the website, which was a big sort of thing off my plate. The email addresses were another big thing, and that's awesome. Again, thank you very much. Because that just makes life way easier. And, so you say, what's your email address? I can say, just send it to info@stnradio.com rather than send it to blah, 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 Gmail, and all that stuff. So it's just,
Yeah,
and
that's right.
and if you run across anything on the website or whatever, where I've got the old address on there, let me know. I can update it pretty quickly. So what fun, interesting, or exciting things do you guys have coming up? Now, Phil, I know that you have your new AC unit, which is a beauty.
It's so nice.
I'm telling you, dude, I can't sleep when it's like warm and
No.
I can't sleep. I just can't. So, congrats to you guys so now let me ask you this. So you kind of, expounded upon the saga of the air conditioner last week. So what actually happened? Did they ship it and it got stolen? Did it get lost in shipping? Did it fall off the truck? Do you know what happened? Why it took so long for it to get to you?
I have no idea.
Really?
It just showed up because we had at first we got a shipping notification. Says it's on the way. We're like, fucking finally, Jesus Christ. And then the day of arrival came and it never got here. So I started looking further into what FedEx had said, and it says Why, yes, it's a 4-pound piece of wood. We're like, that's not an air conditioner, bitches.
Can't air condition anything with that.
No. So we ended up getting back to the vendor because we bought it through Walmart. Amazon would not ship to our house. Would not ship that to our house. We have no idea why. So we bought it through Walmart, and Walmart is doing something similar that what Amazon does. They have a list of vendors that they sell through their website. They take a percentage off, and then the vendors are the ones responsible for getting the product to you and inventory and things like that. So we had to go through Walmart to get in touch with the vendor, and we said, hey, what the hell? Is number one, it's not here. Number two, it says you shipped me a piece of wood. What the fuck? So they messaged us back and they said, oh, we apologize. It's we'll make sure it gets there by the 1st of August, and hope you have a nice day. Thank you. So we thought about it, and 2 days later we thought about it some more, and we said, they never sent us any shipping info, nor did they explain why they shipped us a piece of wood in the first place.
Did you ever get the piece of wood?
Yeah.
No, we never did get the piece of wood. So we tried to message them again, and we haven't heard anything back from them. And so it's very frustrating. We're just we're done. We got the air conditioner, and it looks like.
Oh, that's right. It's got the one where the window comes in like midway in the middle of the unit. Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Well, if they ship you another one, you keep that bastard and put it in another window.
Heck yeah. That is the plan.
They ship you a piece of wood, you can resell that because lumber is ridiculously expensive right now.
It is. See how the window comes down through the middle of it?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, the only thing that goes through the window is the pipe and all the compressor and all the loud stuff's outside. It's quiet.
So all the hot stuff and the loud stuff is outside.
Yep.
Cooling stuff is on the inside.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Pretty cool.
And then the window comes all the way down, so we've got a much better view. The window's not jacked up all the way, and we don't have the big pieces on the side of the air conditioner. Plus, the way that it's built, the air comes out. You can kind of see how it looks in the front. Instead of coming out straight, which was a concern for the wife, because it would be next to the bed. She didn't want it blow over the bed. But this flap goes up high enough that it actually comes out at an angle, goes up. So
Nice.
It misses the bed entirely. And so she was like, yeah, we could get that one. That one's all right.
When we moved into my sister owned a little house over in North Augusta. When we moved in there, that's the last place we lived down there before we moved here. There was no central heat and air. So, she had window units in basically all the rooms. But what I would do at night is I would go into the bedroom and crank the AC up and close the door behind me. And then by the time I was ready to go to bed, it was like you could hang meat in that room. And that was just like, perfect. I would just sleep like the dead with the air conditioner cranked up like that. Of course, Patty had, 16 blankets piled on her next to me, but I was just like, oh. And this ancient ass window unit that she had in the living room, it was like a Sears model from, and I'm not even exaggerating, probably the 70s. This thing was old, but I'll be damned. You turn that thing on and put it on low, it would run you right out of that living room. It got
nothing wrong with that
in there. No,
Yeah.
cold in there quick too. That thing was awesome. But eventually, before we moved out, the furnace. Well, it was one of those. Have you guys ever been into an older house where you've got the big grate in the middle of the house with gigantic radiant heat in the middle of the house? They had one of those, and eventually it gave up the ghost. So she had to spring for central heat and air for her house while we were living there. So eventually, the window unit might actually still be in the living room for that thing just wouldn't die. But that thing was awesome. But you just can't live down there without air conditioning, dude. I mean, it sounds, it's our ancestors would be ashamed of us, but it's like, you know what?
Yeah.
No.
Hey, I'm happy to say I'm spoiled.
Yeah.
Yep.
All hail. What was the guy that invented air conditioning? Carrier. All hail, Mr. Carrier. I can't remember his first name. Harold.
Well, as I've gotten older, I have decided not to try to fight things that I would have fought before. I'm
Yeah.
going to tough this heat out. No,
Yeah,
fuck that. I'm going to sit in my air conditioner and enjoy it.
yeah.
Shit,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's funny, man, because a lot of people are like, when we discuss, oh, we used to live down south. Oh, how'd you live in that heat? I was like, well, you go from your air conditioned house, you get to your air conditioned car, you go to your air conditioned job, and then at the end of the day, you just, do it in reverse, And, the same thing holds true down here. How do you live through the winters? You go for your heated house, into your heated car, drive to your heated job, and then at the end of the day, you just do the reverse and come home.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's Christy said that the wife said that she'll be happy to move up to Alaska if she doesn't have to go anywhere, if she doesn't have to go outside. I said,
Yeah,
what about a
yeah.
garage that's heated? Go into the heated car? Well, yeah, I guess I could do that, but no, other than that, no, I ain't going outside.
Well,
It's simple. We don't.
Yeah.
exactly. Well, that's the simple solution. Well, it's funny because this car that I have right now is a 2014 Volkswagen Jetta, a little 4-door. Nothing special.
Yeah.
My buddy he works at a lot, and when I was looking for a car, he's like, "Well, we've got a Jetta over here." And he's like, "Okay, cool." He's like, "Oh, it's got heated mirrors, it's got heated seats, it's this and that, stick shift, blah blah." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." So he brought it over. And he was like, all right, well, he said, it doesn't have heated seats. I was like, well, not the end of the world, really. He said, but the windows are tinted. He said, and it came from Florida, so it doesn't have a spot of rust. I was like, well, that's why it doesn't have heated seats, because the last thing you need in Florida
It's a hot
Yeah,
seat.
right?
That's right.
Seats are nice here, but not really needed in Florida necessarily. So, but the heat and the AC and that thing worked just fine. And I've got to take it and get, it needs a serpentine belt and like a tensioner and a pulley or something. I want to get all that done, obviously, before I drive down to North
Well,
Carolina.
yeah.
So, I mean, it's fine, but it's squealing and it's, not a good idea to drive, 8 hours or whatever it is down there with it squealing. So I'll get that done Tuesday. It's going in the shop.
So it's doing its Ned Beatty impersonation.
Squealing. Yeah. Well, it's not that bad yet, but it.
Oh, okay.
Wee.
Phil, are you watching the AC
Why are we at?
or the air conditioner that's already in your window? By the way.
It's fantastic. I love it. I love it so much.
So you're watching the AC unit fart.
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, nice.
Uh,
So, Blinktron, any aside from Dragon Con, which we all know we're all getting excited about and hoping for the best, any big exciting things going on down there with you guys?
Not really. Just hoping Christy's wife's foot gets better before Dragon Con so she can go.
Yeah.
Because I would actually like her to meet today. I don't want to be the intermediary again this time. I want her to actually meet her face.
Yeah. Wrap that foot up and walk it off. Rub some dirt on it. Walk it off. Walk it off. So was it a toe or was it like a foot bone?
No, foot bone, top of the foot.
Oh,
You know how soccer players kick
yeah,
with
yeah.
the top of their foot? That's basically what she did to
Gotcha.
the solid steel 32-ounce full
Ooh.
water bottle.
Oh, of course.
Wow.
And empty. Yeah.
Well, not solid steel.
Yeah.
know what I
But
mean.
still, yeah. It wasn't like it was plastic or something.
No.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, I hope she can get healed up at least enough to where she can walk comfortably. Because and this is another thing too, man. I posted on. You may or may not have seen it. I posted on
Yep, I saw it.
Facebook page. Said, hey, finally got my ticket. I'm gonna go after 20 years. And anybody that I've talked to, and it doesn't matter, online, offline, or whatever, to a person, everybody's like, oh, it's so big. It's so big. It's like, look, I know it's so big. I've been in big crowds before.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Oh my. Oh man. So yeah. Yes, I realize that it's going to be very crowded, and although maybe not as crowded as in times past because of COVID. So
Yep, and they're limiting weekend day passes this year.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw that. Yeah. So
So we're not going to reach the 85,000
I wouldn't think so.
that we had 2 years ago. So.
Right. Right. And I mean, again, I hope it doesn't happen, but if they decide to cancel / postpone or whatever for another year, I mean, I'll just wait to go next year, because yeah, I already got the ticket. So if they're going to roll it over to next year, then, so much the better.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't happen because I'm really looking forward to getting out and doing something and hanging out with you guys. And say I haven't been to a big convention like that in a while. Now I've gone to several Steel City cons. They do 3 or 4 a year, but it's not like it's unlike Dragon Con. So they have it at a convention center, and there's a hotel, but it's not really attached to the convention center. So it's not the same thing. It's essentially a huge dealer's room, and they've got rooms off to the side where they do panels and stuff like that. But there's none of the after hours mingling and partying and like they don't do the 24-hour video rooms and gaming for 5 days.
The multiple 24-hour video rooms that the deeper you get into the hotel, the darker the shows get that you're watching.
Oh, that'll be interesting. So, and again, I'm not going to, I had a costume in mind, but I'm probably not going to have the wherewithal to do it, quite honestly. So I'm going to throw some kilts in there, T-shirts,
throw on a kilt, you'll fit right in. You'll have plenty of people chasing you around.
Oh
yeah.
Balls of steel.
You can go to the kilt blowing contest as well.
The kilt blowing contest?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, that's obviously something new since you went.
Yes. Now, I will say at Penzic, they will do. There's one of the camps holds a party called Men Without Pants. So, make of that what you will. Most people wear kilts. Some
Those are not pants.
Men. Some wear togas, and some don't. Shall we say?
Alrighty.
Yeah.
So, just to give you an idea about the kilt blowing thing.
Okay.
I don't think it was the last Dragon Con. It might have been the one before it. John Barrowman showed up at the kilt contest, at the kilt blowing contest.
Oh, that's cool.
And laid down on the stage, huh?
Where do I know him from? John Barrowman.
Captain Jack Harkness.
Captain
from
Jack
Doctor
Harkness.
Who.
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, Captain Jack.
Okay.
Not
Not a
made
big
out with anybody and everybody.
Yes.
He's also Oliver Queen's father in the Arrow.
Okay.
Or father? No. Well, yes. Anyways.
Well known for flapping his tadger at people while they're filming.
Yes. Fucking hilarious guy.
Yeah, he's
but
pretty
anyways, he went to the kilt blowing contest and apparently laid down on his back on the stage and said, "All right, bring it on, guys."
Awesome.
And everybody basically walked over his head, face, so he got a perfect view looking up.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shenanigans that go on with kilts.
Yeah, that's definitely his jam.
All right. Well, I say so, I'll bring at least a couple with me.
There you go. Like I said, you'll fit right in.
Cool. Well, I mean, I didn't expect I wouldn't fit in, but I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I just have to worry about losing you in the crowd.
Yeah, that's true too. Because I do. Oh, here I got a good story about that.
Uh-oh.
Years ago at one of the Land of Fantasy fairs, like in the late '80s, we had Bailey. Damn it, Chris had an old school VHS, like a video camera, like you'd have to rest on your shoulder and the whole thing, right? So we toted it with us to. It was either Dragon Con or a fantasy fair.
That was the same thing back.
No, they were two different things. Atlanta Fantasy Fair was a different convention from Dragon Con.
So it was that far back.
Yes.
Okay.
The first one I went to was 1987, was Atlanta Fantasy Fair number 13. First Dragon Con I went to was Dragon Con 88. I don't know what number it was, but it was Dragon Con 88.
Yeah, that was my first one too.
Oh, okay. All right. So anyway, we're roaming the halls, party to party or whatever. Or we left our room and we're going downstairs to go to the dealer's room. And okay, you take the camera. Okay, great. Okay, you take that. So eventually it comes to me and I'm filming, and we're doing this and that and the other thing. So like weeks later, we're watching this video that we shot, and I think we were at Dave's house. And the camera gets passed to me, and I'm looking, and I'm walking around, and you see people's backs and the back of their head, and their mid back, and somebody was like, "Why are you shooting everybody's back?" I'm like, "Because that's what I fucking see when I'm walking." I don't see anything aside from people's backs unless I'm in the front. That's all I see. They're like, "Oh, yeah, I guess so."
Yeah.
So I would need like a cam with an extension to see above anybody. But anyway,
Or some stilts.
Put a quest marker on top of your head.
yeah, seriously. Well, and we handed the camera to Dave, and Dave was 6'4", so he could see like everything.
Everything. Yep.
He handed it to me, who's 5'4", and you can't see anything except other people's backs and their shoulders, their sides and stuff. Good for. Well, anyway, I think everybody knew where I was with that. And it didn't have anything to do with the boobies. Well, yes, it did. I take that back. Anyway. Oh,
Motorboat.
You lie.
Another quick Dragon Con story. So the last Dragon Con I went to was 2000, and Patty was with me. And we were wandering the halls and, all the atriums and stuff. And there was this woman. I to this day, I don't have any idea what her costume was. It might have just been a homebrew costume. But the girl was tall anyway, and she was wearing some of those big old like shoe heel things, that added like probably 5 or 6 inches to her height. She was wearing this thong as part of her costume, and her ass was literally almost face level with Patty and I. I mean, she was just like, and we ended up calling her the Amazing Butt Woman, because no matter where we went, we'd go across a different hotel. The Amazing Butt Woman was right there with us. We'd go back to the other one. Nope, there's the Amazing Butt Woman on the escalator in front. I mean, luckily she had a nice booty, but it seemed like everywhere we went, there she was. I don't know if maybe she was following us.
Following in front of you.
She didn't want to. She didn't want to be found out, so she was in front of it. Secretly, she was following us around.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Reverse following.
Yeah, reverse following. Yeah. Well, cool. All right. Well,
Almost got him to spray that drink out.
almost. I don't want to spew. What is this? Gatorade. I don't want to spew Gatorade Zero on my non-expensive Acer monitor over here. Be a shame if it died and I had to buy another one.
Ah, shucks. $78.
I don't remember how much it wasn't expensive.
Yeah.
Well, cool. All right. Well, I think we have come to an end. Now, I will say this too, that during the week when we're not actually recording the show here, we can get together like this and just BS. So we don't need like an excuse to record.
Yeah.
We can just get together and chat. And
why would I want to do that?
Well,
He saves it up for this. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Remember, I don't like people.
That's a good point.
Oh, yeah.
Say you like your people, and we are.
That is true. You are my people.
All right,
Yeah. Oh.
Cool. Oh, all right.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, shucks. All right. Well, let's. Nope. All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up then. We will kick it off with. Why not? Blinktron, give us the plug.
What? I don't. Oh, you mean the plug?
The plug. Yes, the plug. Thank you. Jerry Formal, I'm assuming. No, nothing to plug. So let me ask you though, I guess the Minecraft thing isn't happening.
I guess not, or if it is, it's still very slow going.
Still sort of on the back burner, up in the air there. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. One piece of news, the Back for Blood beta signups are taking place, so I need to actually do that.
Yep.
Yeah. So the early access starts a week from today.
Yeah.
It's going from the 5th to the 9th.
Cool. I need to do that actually after we get off the air here, because I want to get in on that. So,
Already got my code.
Cool.
Got it.
Have you anything to where it says we can't stream the beta?
I've not seen anything about that. I'm not entirely sure.
Because
But
that would be awesome if we could do that. That would be good for everybody's. Well, for my stream and I guess Pagan Tex and Green if he wants to stream it. But all right, well, cool. All right, so I'll do that after we get off the air here because I say I want to get on that hot beta action.
yes.
Pagan Tech.
Okay, so twitch.tv/Pagantek, Pagantek. That's pretty much like I covered before, but I'll cover it again. I always love covering it.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
Yeah. The Microsoft Flight Sim is since they did the content update, that's kind of my go-to jam right now. But Star Citizen and once Elite Dangerous gets their head out of their ass, I'll probably get back into that because I love that game. Loved past tense it. I know.
Well, they just released an update yesterday. So
I heard, and it looks like it's got some of the lighting issues fixed, and there was something else they worked on the camera. I don't care about the camera. I want the damn engine fixed. They screwed up the engine, so whatever. Star Citizen, Kerbal Space Program. I just got all kinds of sciencey and space and flight stuff that I love streaming, so that's what you're going to catch me at.
Awesome. And that's twitch.tv/Pagantech, Pagantek.
That's right.
Yep.
And as for me, stnradio.com is my sort of main jam, if you will, to use an expression. And then I Twitch stream on occasion. That is twitch.tv/Malignant Gnome. I haven't actually streamed in a couple days. I got a sinus headache there. I was going to the other night and I had a sinus headache, so I skipped it. Then the other night I just got lazy and watched TV, so you never know. But I don't know, probably this weekend I'll do some streaming. But anyway, again, twitch.tv/Malignant Gnome and stnradio.com. Tomorrow is Friday at 6 o'clock. We kick it off with the Friday Free for All for 3 hours. And then at 9, the Reverend Robert Evil takes over. Actually, his show's pre-recorded this week, but his show is called Rising Down. It's 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours, of goth and industrial music off of his...
good show.
Yeah, it is. It's a great show. And he's got a vast collection of music on his hard drives over there. He was a club DJ for a long time and a performer, and he's been in goth bands, and he's just done a ton of stuff. He actually used to go to conventions back in the day too. That's how I know him, is because we used to frequent the same conventions back in the day. So anyway, cool. Yeah, very good show. So tune in for that if you get a chance. And I think that'll do it. So thank you one and all for listening and watching on Pagan Tech's channel. We will see you same bat time, same bat channel. But keep in mind that around the Labor Day weekend, Labor Day weekend, I will be out of pocket. I will actually be down in North Carolina and then down in Atlanta for Dragon Con. So it'll just be, unless Rob wants to do something, it'll just be auto DJ that whole weekend. So be prepared for that.
What's the date of Labor Day?
September 2nd through the 6th. That's the Dragon Con dates.
Okay.
Yes. So
I am not sure what the plan is for that time frame. There's no telling, because I think it's on, what's the 1st? Is that Wednesday?
Yes, it's Thursday through Monday.
Yeah.
Okay, because the 1st is when I go in for surgery, and I probably will be in the hospital until Saturday.
Okay. Well, that kind of works out then, because like I said, Pagan Tech and I are going to be at Dragon Con anyway.
No. Not Pagan Tech.
No.
Yeah. Blinktron and I are going to be at Dragon Con anyway.
Yeah.
So if you're out for your surgery, that just and Green is thinking about going to Dragon Con as well, then that kind of works out. So we'll all just take the weekend off or whatever, and just go back at it the next week. Then that kind of works out.
Yep. See what we can piecemeal together at Dragon Con.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm taking all the equipment. So, I don't know if I told Pagan Tech. I heard back from Cybertronic Spree. They said, yes, get in touch with me. Get in touch with us closer to time of the convention, so we'll know better what the schedule is. So it looks like I may be able to get to interview them. So
Lovely.
Nice.
Yeah, that would be super cool. Yeah.
Did you contacted Dragon Con about press access and stuff like that, right?
And I have not heard anything back, so I will email them
Okay.
again from my stnradio.com email address.
Gotcha.
So maybe a little bit more, maybe carry a little bit more weight. I don't know.
And as far as the the early access open beta for Back for Blood,
Yeah.
they're doing Twitch drops, so I'm pretty sure it's okay to stream it.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, that question. Perfect. Well, that's what we shall do then. That's awesome. All right.
Yes.
Well, having said all that, I am going to turn it back over to Pagan Tech to sign off, and we will see you guys next week. Pagan Tech.
Thanks to everybody for sticking around for the Roundtable of Fools. These idiots, nincompoops, and ne'er-do-wells, and of course, fools. We've wasted enough of your time, and we're headed off to the sunset for tonight. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Ooh.